We are continuing our repair of this RC car, a Hummer model. As I told before, we had a problem with the front wheels. The axles that were fitted on the front side broke down. Usually in these cars they use plastic parts, and these parts are not very resistant. If you bump into hard surfaces with the front wheels, they can break. So what happened to this plastic part is that it had a sleeve that meant to be fitted on here into this hole here, but it broke. So now the wheel can't be fitted here, it just drops out, and the car doesn't move because the wheels go in different directions and actually stop braking the car. What I did first was a simple solution: to take a wire and put it on this plastic part so that I could fit it back on here into this hole. But as you can see, it's not a very good solution. It's moving from one side to another, and it didn't work well. So I thought I should do something better, and I thought of a interesting solution which can be applied to many RC cars, because in many of them regular RC cars have very similar parts. So what I did is to come up with this small part which would replace this plastic part if applied with bolts and nuts. I took a aluminum metal fitting, which can be used at any plumber's store. It's flexible, it's easy to work with. You can cut it easily and make holes in it, and with some pliers bend it so that the axle of the wheel can enter like this. Okay, so that's how you can fit in the wheel in here. So the result was something looking like this, a bit complicating, but it actually works. So this metal part is fitted in here. It's fitted like this. That would look like this on the other side. And it's fixed with bolts and nuts to the steering mechanism and to the chassis. So we apply a long bolt here like this, and a shorter one to connect the this metal part with the steering mechanism, and we apply nuts to fix them in stable position so that it doesn't move from side to side, so it's pretty stable. Another RC car may require another solution, but in general the logic may work. In my case, there was a cover, a plastic cover that also comes on top of the steering mechanism, and it fitted very nicely, because when you put it on, you actually fix this whole system in one place, so it's not moving from side to side. And it's important because when you apply pressure to the wheels, it has to be stable. And as you can see, there's a motor that moves this, and this solution for me looks good. This mechanism is weighs more, of course, and it may be more difficult for this electrical motor to move it, but as the idea is to apply more power to this motor, I think it should not be a problem, but we will test that. Also, you can see that the axle has moved a little bit. If this is supposed to be fitted here like this, you would see that the axle actually moved a little bit. But I checked it with the body, and it does not interfere with any of the wheel arcs, and it actually looks fine. In order to do this work, you need to first of all think how to apply the solution if you have the same problems. So you need to find some materials like aluminum bolts and nuts, and after you cut this kind of pieces, you need to use instruments like a file to smooth the edges, also a metal cutter like this to cut out this. To make holes, you need a drill with a tool to make a hole in the metal, and different pliers. They are necessary and helpful when you bend this little thing, and you bend it so that you can make this form to fit in the axle. And of course, do not forget about safety goggles. It's important when you cut metal material. The metal may fly in different directions with high speeds, and you need to protect your eyes. Also, when you fit in this two fittings, you need to make sure that you align them correctly so that both wheels look steer in the same direction. For that, I use this metal bar. I just put them through this both newly fabricated parts like this, and make sure that the wheels are aligned. This is important when you make holes to connect these metal parts to the steering mechanism. All in all, it's been a fun part to do because I had to use some logic and think of the solution, and it's a good exercise, I think. So I advise you not to throw any toys away, but try to fix them, and I hope this idea will help to fix a few of your broken cars.